Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out another new custom Reflex track, this one being Flight School by Nick DeLeon. It seemed like you guys kind of enjoyed that last 2019 Daytona replica track by Red Ryder, so I figured we would check this track out as well. So this track is actually, there's a bunch of things I have to say about this track. It's super awesome, but it was really hard. I know I said that Red Ryder's 2019 Daytona track was hard. Well, I felt like this was even harder. It took me forever to kind of figure out how I wanted to go about it. Now, the first couple laps here, I believe each lap, or maybe not each lap, I don't remember. We do 5 laps, but we do hit a few different lines here. And I know I believe it is the last lap we do. That last rhythm section we just went through, we do that a little bit differently. And right off the start, we hit that triple. I believe we hit a quad double there. So some of those lines I didn't even figure out until the very end of doing this race. And I did a bunch of races here, a bunch. This track was really tough for me. I mean, it was a struggle. The whole time I was on it, I struggled, and I know I'm not very good. I feel like I'm pretty average. I feel like I'm a pretty average Reflex player. Not great and not awful, just very average. And so for an average guy, this was like a pro track. It was super tough. It took me forever. And Sean, I'm going to say this in the video because you keep asking me how to get these custom tracks. You're like, how do I do the Reflex account? Blah, 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 blah. Go to the website I have linked in the description. It's Darkslide's website. Go there. You can download them super easy. You don't have to make a profile. Go to the link in the description. It's Darkslide's website. It's like ds19.eu or something like that. It's in the description. Click that link. That's how you get a bunch of these tracks now. So, yeah, you don't have to do Reflex Central. I mean, you can if you want, but I don't know. For a while, Reflex Central wasn't even, you couldn't make new profiles, and it was like super down. It had like the track maintenance is in progress sign. I believe that's fixed now, but yeah, you go to the link in the description if you want to get these new custom tracks. Okay, Sean? All right, there. Don't say I didn't tell you how to do it. It's right there. But yeah, this track was super interesting. I mean, even just, I know we get this finish line triple every time, but before when I was doing it, I was messing up that step on, step off. Stepping off of that table is kind of tricky. It doesn't look tricky, but it was. And if you didn't get that, you're not getting that triple. And then those kind of doubles that are turning away from you were super hard to get to. So this part of the track is probably the easier part. I didn't really feel like, I figured this out pretty early. It wasn't that big a deal. And then here on the last lap, if you want to see it, we go all the way outside, carry a bunch of speed, and I believe we throw down the quad. So pretty insane line there. This line was actually, I don't know, it never really crossed my mind to go for it really until the race I did before this. I was doing a bunch of practice races and just trying to get some decent laps, because I know when you don't get hit the lines that you should be hitting, it can be you know, a little bit frustrating to watch. And then this section here, we actually go outside. My favorite line was taking this inside, rolling this first one, and then doubling. It just worked out really good, and for me, that was definitely the more consistent way to go about it. But eventually, we do go clear to the outside, which I believe we do it 2 laps in a row, but the first time we do it, we don't get it quite right. So, really awesome. I mean, the setting's kind of cool. He's got these buildings, I suppose these school buildings. It's like a riding school, I would assume. And it kind of has a nighttime setting. I've never really said it, but I really enjoy the nighttime setting on any track, you know, not counting like Monster Energy Supercross, because pretty much all of those, unless you're doing like Time Attack, are at night, because Supercross races at night. But just these custom tracks, Red Ryder had it. Nick DeLeon, I believe, has at least one, maybe a couple other nighttime ones. There was another track, I don't remember what it was called. Let me think here. Gosh, it started with an A. I think it was Atalento? Something like that. That track was so awesome. It had the nighttime setting, and I know we never did a video on that track, but it was awesome, and it had the nighttime setting with the lights and everything, and so I just in general kind of enjoy the, I guess, the nighttime setting. So I mean, just everything was really well done here. I mean, he didn't take a bunch of environment to make it look cool. I mean, he's got the lights, he's got the nighttime setting with the stars, he's even got the moon in there. And then, like I said, he's got the buildings, which I would assume, oh, here, are we going to try for this? All right, so we come up short, and then we can't get it. But you can triple in. We do get it very clean on the last lap, so make sure to check that out. So the track has a bunch of different line choices. Initially, when I was playing it, I kind of felt like it didn't have a ton of line choice. Well, I was wrong. I was very wrong. There's actually a bunch of different ways you can go about it here. A bunch of different line choice, and the track, it feels different. It feels like a Nick DeLeon track. It kind of has, it feels like it has, I don't know, in my opinion, it kind of feels like the track is always pulling on the bike a little bit more than some other people's tracks. It just feels like there's a certain amount of, I mean, I don't know how to make a Reflex custom track. I don't know what all goes involved in it, or all is involved in it. I know it's not easy, but it just feels like the track has a certain amount of drag to it, more so than a lot of other people's tracks. I don't really know if it kind of has a light tone dirt texture to it, or color to it. I don't know if it's supposed to be a bit sandy, maybe. I don't know. A lot of his tracks I play feel like they have a decent amount of pull on the bike. I don't know what word you would use. You track creators would know better than me, but it just kind of feels like it. It's not bad, but it feels like it is a bit noticeable. Here it's a little bit muddy. And now I never really noticed that to be too much of a problem. I never felt like it affected the bike. And then one of those cool lines, I don't know if we just did it there, I wasn't paying attention. You can actually, instead of taking the big line and then hopping off and having the wall, you can actually double the table and then have a double over the wall. So I don't really know what's faster. I think they're pretty close. We get it here? No, so 2 laps in a row we butcher that, but we did go for it. We did change it up here, and then it's kind of like half of that section was kind of the way we were always doing it. And then I never even thought that of tripling in this until, like I said, the last 2 races I did. But I bet I played on this track for over 2 hours, no joke. Yes, I know I don't play a lot of Reflex, and Reflex is like fresh and new right now for me, and so it's fun. But wow, it was just a really tough track. These whoops, Nick DeLeon has a very specific set of whoops that he does. They're like really steep and really close together, and just really, really tough. His whoops are really tough, and if you don't get through them and you get stuck in them, it can be a nightmare. Now, I do believe here is kind of the interesting lap where we do switch it up. We do hit the quad here off of the start straight, so we go way outside. I probably made it harder than it should have been. It was pretty clean, pretty clean. So we can go quad double there. I don't see any reason not to do that, but it does make jumping onto this table a little bit harder. But we go for that line instead, which I feel like that's a really solid line too. I feel like jumping over the wall, anytime you can jump over a wall, I feel like that is a really solid line. Then we get this again, and then we jump into the section that we've been trying, but we were unsuccessful at getting. So we carry quite a bit more speed there. Triple. Oh, we actually jumped all the way over. And then we triple again, but we over jump. So that triple out we didn't get completely, but you can see, interesting, totally different line. I mean, it makes that section feel completely different. Now, I don't know what's faster. It's not like I ran a bunch of time lapse or anything, but that did feel pretty fast. So, yeah, very, very interesting track. It is new. It is by Nick DeLeon. It is called Flight School. You can pick it up on Darkslide's website or actually, I don't know if this one's on Reflex Central or not. A lot of the times they're on both, but for sure this one was on Darkslide's website, as well as Red Rider's 2019 Daytona replica. The link is in the description, okay? Sean, I am talking to you specifically. Quit asking me. It is in the description. In the description. Click Darkslide's website. You can download it and then install it just like you would any other custom reflex track or whatever. So check it out, guys. It is awesome. Highly encourage you to. It is a very tough kind of a technical track. I feel like it's a pro track. I feel like it's very much a pro track. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.